things are getting rather steamy when it comes to Daniel and Lisa. But before we get into those, we're going to start off with Kimberly. Because you see, when it comes to Kimberly, we know now that she's somebody that gave up not one, but two children for adoption. But now, something that she said on Pillow Talk has now resurfaced. That's definitely not doing her any favors. I mean, at this moment in time, there's definitely a lot of viewers who are already frustrated with the storyline. Why? Well, because it's not a 90-day fiance storyline. It's literally a storyline that's completely out of context. But hey, let's get into exactly what has been discovered here on Reddit. Now, bear in mind, when I play this, I will pause it here and there purely because of copyright purposes, where I haven't been able to edit it myself.
She's in her prime. She's ready to make some babies, right?
Yeah.
So why choose a man that's 52 years old?
And as you can imagine, she's obviously talking about Trisha. Okay, because Trisha obviously wants to have kids, and Rick happens to be the man that she has picked.
I know. But also, why is he choosing her expecting she's not going to want kids? She's too young to even know still.
Yeah.
I don't think she's too young to know that she wants kids because she knows that she wants kids. I'm not too sure what Jamal was talking about there, but anyway.
Even me, like at 30, I don't know if I want kids or not. Man, should I know by now?
I didn't want them.
And that statement itself in particular is something that a lot of people are not happy with. Now, here's the thing. Before I get into what it says in the description of that post, do you think it was just nothing but an innocent comment? Because there are many times where people do end up having kids, and it just happens, you know what I mean? But at the same time, though, I would say this. The moment that you and your partner find out that your partner is pregnant, well, you have a choice, don't you, at that moment in time to decide whether or not, one, you want to keep the child, two, if you want to have an abortion, three, if you want to have an adoption, okay? So there are many options, to be fair, when it comes to having kids. When it comes to if you do decide to keep the child and you don't want the child, there are options to obviously give them away, which is exactly what Kimberly did not once but twice. But also on top of that, there's also the other clear conversation of today's world, where should accidental pregnancies really, should they still be happening in today's world, given the fact that there are, well, I guess for men, there's only one source of contraception, but for women, there are several ones, which is, I do understand, quite unfair that there are so many things out there for women to, you know, obviously stop them from getting pregnant, but then has said side effects. But either way, though, we do know that when it comes to men, oh my bad, there's two of them. There's obviously the protection that we put on, or we can go and get a vasectomy, which isn't necessarily always a guarantee. But either way, though, we live in a world nowadays where getting pregnant by accident, can it really be a thing? Probably not. But hey, that is up for that's up for debate, you know what I mean? But either way though, Kimberly here literally says that I definitely didn't want them. So again, it really goes back to the conversation of, okay, well, we know that you got pregnant with the first child accidentally, and the man that you was with did not want you to have this child. So you decided to give it up for adoption. Respectfully, made sense. You were 21. It happened. But then you slept with the same man again and had another child the following year, and then gave up that child. Honestly, like, doing it once, all right, cool. Doing it twice, that's just crazy. But either way, though, it kind of shows how reckless she was, obviously, when she was younger, and how selfish she was when she was younger. But unfortunately, Kimberly, because she's somebody who struggles with the idea of being reality ready, she still has that same mentality now to what she had when she was younger, and that's the reckless mentality. But either way, though, Jamal was obviously the one that she decided to keep. But hey, with that being said, though, do what you will with that information. It's just that with what we know now, a comment like that can definitely bite you up the arse. But let's read what this person's had to say. I was catching up on a Pillow Talk of Before the 90 Days. I usually save and binge watch it later when I'm crocheting, and clutch my pearls since Kimberly and Jamal joking about having kids. This original aired on 25th of January before the season of Single Life, which began airing at the beginning of February. But of course, we know that the Single Life would have been filmed way before it aired. Therefore, when this happened here in the Pillow Talk, this would have been after she had actually filmed her season for the Single Life. So bear that in mind, okay? Knowing what we know now and her adopting 2 out of 3 of her children, her joking about not wanting her own kids definitely didn't land well with me, which again, I understand why this would rub a lot of people the wrong way, depending on what perspective you want to look at it at. Please forgive me if this has already been spoken about. Now, someone did come in and said, oh my effing God, I have said this before, there is absolutely nothing wrong with adoptions. It is a deception and lies to her son. That's why he is upset. I feel like this person who made this comment still thinks Larry is the only kid that was adopted. There was 2 back-to-back years. But hey, this guy thought he knew his mother and they were besties. Kim is a whole other person with big issues facing reality. It is like she almost convinced herself that the truth is not the truth in this clip. I mean, listen, that I don't disagree with. She is literally her own worst enemy. She's somebody that has to feels the need to lie. And let's not forget, even when Larry did reach out to Kimberly, she then literally catfished Larry with Jamal's profile, pretending to be Jamal. I mean, if I'm Jamal in that situation, I don't know how I could ever forgive my mom for doing this, personally. Especially knowing the fact that he had tried to convince her to look for his sister originally, and she said, no, shut it down. To then find out that the whole time, he didn't only just have a sister that his mom said that he can't find, he had a whole brother that his mom didn't even tell him about. And now she has the audacity to catfish the brother with his profile, and therefore literally ruining a perfect beginning of him meeting his brother, because now his brother first originally met somebody that wasn't him. And then on top of that, upon meeting the brother and trying to have a relationship that is healthy, even that was a struggle because he didn't want to hold back the fact that they had a sister, but Kimberly told him not to tell the brother just yet. Honestly, it's one thing if you want to lie for yourself, but then telling your son to also lie for you, that's just terrible parenting if you ask me. But hey, that is that. Either way, do what you, ladies and gentlemen, with this information. Give me your thoughts. But now we're going to move on to the next topic of today. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting because we are still on the topic of Jamal. Now, Jamal has been confirmed to be a part of Hunt for Love amongst another cast member called Razvan. For some of you who don't remember Razvan, Razvan is the guy that was a 90-Day Fiance, The Single Life. No, was it The Single Life? No, I think it was the other way, with Amanda, okay? And he's the guy from Romania, all right? And his whole thing is all about, being a ladies' man. His whole thing is about being on TikTok, always uploading videos of him being topless and showing women what a alpha man looks like, blah, 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 blah. He's the guy that literally cried on camera because Amanda didn't want him. He couldn't face the fact that a woman in this world actually rejected him because he's so used to women allegedly flooding themselves in his direction because of his content. But either way, let's get into what actually happened here. So, as per shitbooty.com, apparently breaking Hunt for Love Season 2 news. Apparently this is exclusive, allegedly. Warning due to the nature of this tea. According to my sources, Razvan was sent home early from Hunt for Love 2, filming in Puerto Rico. Man, I would love to be in Puerto Rico right now. Yeah. Wouldn't you? Anyway. After allegedly calling Jamal a racially charged name/slur, they'll likely edit him out of the show or dance around this sudden disappearance somehow. Crazy, and this all just happened today, so everyone is still in shock, and this is breaking news story. Yikes. The question is, do we believe that this is something that could have happened? I'm going to say I do believe this is something that could happen because, well, one is 90-Day Fiance, and there's always something going on that is whether racially happening or discrimination. There's always something happening that just shouldn't be happening on TV, isn't there? So for me personally, do I believe that Razvan is the kind of person that would probably do this? I mean, listen, I'll say this. I never got any vibes of him necessarily being a racist person, but at the same time, nor did I get any vibes of him with him not being a racist person, if you know what I mean. So, and also I will say this, Razvan is somebody that has a massive ego when it comes to women. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to obviously, court a woman and that woman preferred Jamal instead, and he got into his feelings, and therefore instead of still being an alpha man, really exposed himself to be a egotistical, jealous person instead, and therefore maybe decided to be racially charged towards Jamal. Again, I'm only speculating what I think could have put him in the position of actually getting to the point where he decided to be very, obviously racial towards Jamal. And based on the premise of the show Hunt for Love, and also based on the premise of what we saw last season when it came to Rob and Carl and Cole, yeah, that's the one. And we saw obviously, how the men got a little bit sticky when, regarding Elise and then regarding Jennifer. So we know that, egos of men can definitely happen, and therefore some of them will call each other out, even though in reality, sometimes it was actually Jennifer the problem. But hey, that's a whole nother conversation. So therefore, based on the premise of the show, I can imagine this is something that probably happened due to a female interest. Either way, it's definitely not an excuse, and I hope this is the end of Razvan being on 90-Day Fiance, if this information is, of course, true. But hey, Let me know your thoughts. Do you think TLC, Sharp Entertainment, Night Difference will be reality ready to recognize that they should remove this guy completely off the show because of this information that has come out allegedly? Do you think they'll ever be reality ready to recognize that each time something does happen on one of the shows that is offensive to the public in a way that is just not forgivable, they should just look to act ASAP? Because right now we've still got Berghan on the show, despite the fact that he has come out multiple times to say the N-word during his live TikTok. Bear in mind, we've had cast members be on the show who have been flagged for things they've said in the past racially and been removed, but still, or maybe still have been on it. But at the same time, we know that when the Hitler name was dropped by Tiger Lily and Adnan, they were completely removed ASAP. So really and truly, it is quite embarrassing that it has not happened with Berghan at this moment in time. Because it hasn't happened with him, do we think they're going to do the same thing when it comes to Razvan? Well, give me your thoughts. Because for me personally, when it comes to TLC and reality already, I don't think those two centers can ever be in the same conversation. I think TLC and Moving Mad is more better suited. But hey, that is that topic there itself in particular. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Now, this one is all about Lisa. So Lisa, she's not happy with Daniel right now, but Daniel is not giving her something that she truly wants and desires. Let's get into it and find out what it was.
Can we have more sex before you go? I hope so.
Baby, there's one thing you didn't fulfill last night for me.
What's that?
Oral sex.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with oral intimacy, I tell you this now, ladies and gentlemen, but goddamn, would I be willing to do it to Lisa just for the sake of a green card? Hey. Boy, I must really hate my life in Nigeria if that was the case. I can tell you this now. I must really hate it, and I must really think that going to America is really going to change my life for the better. Oh boy, I mean, kissing her would just be a challenge itself alone. And this isn't me insulting her appearance or whatnot. She just ain't my type, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that. Oh boy. Let's see how Daniel decided to handle the situation.
Oh.
Why are you putting it off? There's only a few things I've asked of you, and that's a major one right there for me.
And that's a major one right there for her. I apologize. That was probably a very bad accent impersonation, but what can I say? Yeah.
I've never had an oral sex with Lisa because I've never tried it before.
Don't lie to yourself. You're a Nigerian man. I know how you mofos get down. Don't lie. You just don't want to get down with Lisa. Huh?
Her fellow women have been giving her the oral sex she wants. I am not a woman. I have my...
This guy's funny. He is funny as hell. So... Oh, this is about to get a bit wild now. It's going to get a bit wild because you see... based on his analogy, in fact, his analogy is, she wants me to give her oral, but I'm not a woman. I'm a man. I have a... So therefore, he believes... Let's finish it real quick.
Yes, I give her what I have. When we get married.
So his analogy is that she should only receive oral from another woman because another woman has the same privates. But because he's got a different privates, that's all he has to offer to give her. So with that analogy, does that necessarily mean that for him to receive it down there, he must receive it from a man? I'm just saying because that analogy is freaking wild. When you say things and you don't really think about it and then he bites you in the arse. Or am I just moving mad? But hey.
I'll make it up to you. Okay?
Promise.
I promise you. I'm sorry. Okay?
If he was going to make it up to her, he would do it right then and there. Then again, maybe it's the morning after. No shower. No bath. Maybe not.
I'll make it up to you.
You better keep this promise because I've done so much.
I wish it's possible for us to spend one more.
The only reason why you've done so much is because you are desperate as hell for this man to stay in your life. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anything that she has done for him, she's probably wanted to do it, to be fair, to a certain degree. But you can't really sit there and say, but I've done so much for you. This is not an exchange. I mean, maybe it is, but either way though, it's the way she wants a return. You know, I've done all these things, so now I need my return. Oh boy, now with that being said, we've also got some UT that just came in just before I decided to make this video, and this one's all about Colt. So Colt has now decided to ring Diana, his Brazilian girlfriend, or should I say currently right now his Brazilian fiance, in real time, okay? The same woman that he was cheating on Courtney with, and this is what he's had to say to her.
I love Courtney, but I love you, and if I haven't met you, I was supposed to meet you.
You're hurting me.
I'm hurting everybody.
Hurting everybody, but he doesn't give a damn.
I feel terrible for causing Diana so much hurt, and I want to be honest, yes, I still love Courtney. I love Courtney.
You know, I truly do believe that the only reason why he keeps repeating that I love Courtney is purely for the show purposes. This man never loved Courtney. He never cared about Courtney. He never appreciated Courtney. Courtney was just literally a nurse for him and a free home. But he can say all he likes and tell us that he loved her.
And I also love you, and Diana needs to know that. Do you still want me to come to Brazil?
I'm feeling like your last option.
I could see that.
You know, Colt is actually one hell of a manipulator. He's very smart with it because everything that he says manipulate. He basically plays into everything. It's crazy how he does it. He doesn't even necessarily avoid a certain topic or conversation. He will happily have it and happily say that he knows that I'm wrong. It's like with the situation with Courtney when he was there in the wheelchair. He said to her, you shouldn't be helping me. Don't help me. I don't deserve it, basically. But he knew saying that would push in a business where she'd still want to hurt him. He knows how to... Yo, this guy is dangerous. All women should stay away from him. He is utterly dangerous. He's working at a different wavelength, to be honest with you. Now, what he does, that reverse psychology stuff he does here, it's an effery. Men like him should be behind bars. Same as women like him should be behind bars.
I don't know what I'm doing with anything in life right now.
She says I'm hurt, then he flips it and makes it about how he's sad about his actions. I don't know what I'm doing in my life right now. And then she tries to bring it back by saying, but I'm sad though.
Sad.
I'm sorry that I've hurt you.
Hurt so many people.
Nah. This guy is he's a different breed. But listen, this is the question that I have. Do you think Colt is somebody that actually has the ability to actually love someone? Because I don't think he does. I'm not really convinced, to be honest with you. So that's what I want to know from you lovely folks. But hey, the question is though, we know that Diana is currently still in his life as his fiance. At least that was what was last reported. Nothing has come out to say that they are not together, so they are still together this moment in time. I wonder if Diana will ever be reality or ready to recognize that she made a very moving mad choice by still allowing this man to stay in her life, despite the fact that he was literally living with a whole other woman that whole time. But Colt's the kind of smart ass, to be honest with you, who probably told her the whole time that he was actually living with Courtney, and he was living there because that's where he had to stay for that time being, why he recovered. He probably did tell her that she was his caregiver or something like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's definitely the kind of person that will mix the truth with a splash of manipulation, a splash of gaslighting. You name it, this guy does it. Whew, yeah. This guy should, stay away from someone like him. How do you notice him? Well, good luck with that one. Either way, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And please do have a great Easter holidays if you are somebody that does care for the Easter holidays. And also, hype the video, please. Like the video and also subscribe. Thank you so much for your time.